Okay, here is demonstration 1 on how to start your plaster skull project, the sugar skull project. And the first thing we have to remember is this is going to be an abstract skull. It's not going to be completely realistic. We could stylize it. There's many different things we could do. You could see this one is more stylized. It's a little more cartoonish. This one's more realistic, even though the proportions are not realistic. So you got to kind of decide what you want to do for yours. One thing that will help a lot is you'll have these photo references that are just line drawings, but we want to draw it a little bit more to scale to our cube. So you can see I have this light sketch here. It's just a very rough sketch. All right. So now what we start is you'll have your plaster in our milk carton here. So we're just going to peel this off. And you can see I have my block of plaster here now. Okay. And the first thing I want to do is decide what's going to be my front, what's going to be my back. I generally do this, the poured part as the top, and this is the bottom. And I kind of want to draw out just that basic outline again, okay? I usually like using my smoothest side as the front. This side, sometimes there's the seam from the milk carton. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly, you could do this with a pencil, it doesn't really matter. Because again, all this is going to get carved away anyway. This is just to give you kind of an idea. And I'm going to do that lightly on the side now. I'm mostly concerned about where the curve of the skull is going to be at this point. I'm not so worried about the front right now. We'll talk about that in a later demonstration. Mostly looking at the curve of the skull here. How's it going to curve under? Where's the jaw going to start? We kind of make a place for the neck there. Not really worried about this detail yet. Back's just going to be kind of rounded here. I'm not so worried about that yet. I want the base of the neck to be here. We'll do the opposite side here. Again, not worried about the front right now. Okay. And then the top, of course, is going to be here. So the very first thing we want to do is round this out. You can see I have my drawing in there. Just giving me an idea. And the way I like to do this is I like to hold my tools like this. Okay? This gives you a lot of power here. And you're going to start shaving. So I want you to watch. I'm going to do this in a time lapse. I want you to watch how I knock all the corners down first, and then I carve from the center to get it round. The big problem most students have is they knock the corners off, but they don't make it round. You want the top and the back to be kind of like a ball. So as this time lapse goes, you'll see how I do that. Okay, you could see I knocked my corners off and I left the front flat. I'm going to leave the front flat till I start working on the eyes, and we'll do that in a different video. This is where a lot of students kind of get stuck. It's still very much a cube here. I got the corners knocked off, but it's no means round. So I want you to watch how I'm going to go from the center and I'm going to start continually to knock these corners down, okay? Okay, you can see how I got the back of the skull pretty rounded. I got a nice curve so far. This is just kind of a rough. So now what we want to do is the next step in the next video is going to be getting this back part around the neck to the jaw a little shaped. You can see in my example here, and we're just going to get the rough shape of that in.